We're back with the FACEIT Major Legends stage. This is where the games get good and real good. We've got Fnatic now taking on Complexity. Of course, Legends Fnatic from the previous Major over in Boston now here for the FACEIT Major live from London. Complexity, this North American-Canadian combo are coming in hot and even have a bit of UK blood in as well. One of the two UK players. In fact, we see them back-to-back. Smooya, top of the scoreboard and rocking it for big as they picked up their win. We'll see if Def can do the same as they try and get in front of that home crowd. Not an easy task, and to talk about it, we have none other than Sean Gares and Chad Birchall hanging out.
G'day.
Hi, g'day.
Hello.
How do we say, what's like the typical greeting in California? Hi.
I guess, hey.
Hey.
Yo.
So just go, if you go to Texas,
G'day.
it's like, hey,
I like a
y'all.
yo.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
That's more
That's
of a,
not
that's
Texas.
like an Alabama, isn't it?
Where Trace is from, right?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. He says that a
I'm
lot.
from that area too, though.
You are?
There you
Yeah,
go.
New Orleans.
Aha, New Orleans. Okay, so we've got our greetings sorted. And now what I want to get understood is just how much of an upset potential lies within this game. Because I think that's the conversation, right, Sean, is this isn't a clear-cut game. I mean, I was trying to think of an example from today. Perhaps the Windstrike game from earlier on today. This is not the same kettle of fish.
This is definitely not clear-cut at all. Both of these teams have only really shown us what they have on Inferno. So, I mean, we could be looking at something like that. But if it's not Inferno, it's just we're totally in the dark.
Wide open.
We're totally in the dark, especially because this new Fnatic lineup with Draken, they haven't had any success on really any of the other maps. So I don't know what to really think about them.
Just to give people at home an understanding of how Complexity got here, they went 3-1. They played Inferno 4 times. The only team they lost to was Astralis, right? So they had to beat the likes of Big, Vega Squadron, and Space Soldiers. Now, Space Soldiers, we have that caveat because they had the hardstyle coach standing in, and then the big victory, we just saw Big topple phase. That's a huge win. And Vega Squadron are here as well. So they actually had to get legit victories to get to this point. But when you tee it up, you're looking at a Fnatic. Fnatic eat players like this for breakfast.
Yes.
The JWs, the Crimses, the Flushes of the world, they don't have respect for these kind of guys, and that's the problem.
And that's the Fnatic that you know and indeed at times love. They have got this swagger to their gameplay, and it's whether or not they can find that, whether they can unlock that, and this was a crazy round from Draken, but whether they can truly unleash that potential is going to be a question that hopefully this first game will answer, because yes, you have to fight for respect in the server with Fnatic.
Yeah, usually this is a team that someone like JW is going to get a knife kill against. Like, he is insane. He will probably bust out a shotgun, a knife, like...
Oh, here we go.
Most ridiculous, yeah.
Speak of the devil!
So we can expect to see stuff like that, or attempts, if Fnatic is front-running at all in this game.
Keep our eyes on that. Got New Jersey's got the new player, but can they get some new results? Recently, it hasn't been all too pretty. One of the first teams eliminated on home soil in Stockholm. Now they come to London looking to get revenge.
An interesting tidbit is Exist in-game leader style over the years has been it's more loose and free-flowing, and that's where Flusher, JW, and Crims tend to do their best work. So bringing into this kind of system, it shouldn't be a difficult... they've been together for some time now, but it's not like a transition. It's not like a complete change of game plan. It's just maybe a different view on how to tackle certain rounds. Can you guys see them?
I knew someone was going to do it. God, you're as bad
I go for the dad jokes. I love the dad jokes.
Yeah. So it seems like Fnatic haven't taken to their seats yet.
Yeah, yours was better than mine.
It was. Yeah, you could have given me time.
Sorry, man.
It's all right, man. It's all right. I forgive you.
But yeah, I think like the free-flowing nature of these guys does have a chance to, against a team like Complexity, just destroy them, right? That's kind of what you'd be expecting if they get in control of the economy. Crims is, still up there as one of the best players in the world. This guy's just an absolute beast. But
that train win percentage is icky.
Yeah.
Well, and the other maps, they haven't really played much. So those percentages are quite deceiving.
Yes, keep our eyes on that, just because it is the last 3 months, and as you can see, not much online, just a little on LAN, and their recent LANs were rather quick. In fact, as I mentioned, Stockholm, it was also over at the CSGO Premier where they fell to Mouse Sports. But we have to talk about their opponents. It's Complexity who'll be stepping up against them in the server. These rosters are brought to you by DreamTeam.gg. Walk me through this one, Sean. I imagine you know them better than most.
Yeah, so Shaz is their opera. I spent a lot of time playing with him. He is actually an extremely skilled player that hasn't had the recognition that he deserves. But the star of the team lately has actually been Ye. Ye has put up huge numbers on their T sides for them, and even some lockdown CT clutches.
Yeah.
Android, he's your solo site player that's kind of like a turret. Like, he doesn't really move. He's like old school Crims, where he has phenomenal aim. And Stanislaus, obviously the storied in-game leader. And then the last player that I'm...
Def, the British.
Yeah. So Def is also extremely skilled as well. I mean, he's the secondary opera of the team. So on Inferno, you'll probably find him at the B bomb site and stuff like that. Yeah, they're a stacked lineup in my opinion.
A stacked lineup that only up until recently haven't been on many's radar. It was their performance at the minor, Chad, where everyone started to shut up and go, okay, we could be seeing Complexity in London, and now we said, oh, we might see Complexity in the Legends stage. How high can they climb?
Look, I definitely didn't expect them to see them at this stage of the tournament. Yeah, they were one of the teams who I had in the bottom 4 not to even make a dent or even going out 0-3, but the fact they have is fantastic news. But Sean's already painted the picture that they did so on Inferno. They've only done it on Inferno. That's all we've seen from them. The Swiss allows you to ban down to 1, and if they get Inferno again here, it can be a double-edged sword. They know what's worked for them to get to this point, but so do Fnatic. Fnatic can look at those games, they can look at every single tendency, and in this kind of situation, those kind of bits and pieces can get exploited. We should talk about the coach in the background there. That's Rambo of 3D fame. He was coaching MVP, over in Korea, but he's gone back to North American shores. And for people who maybe aren't so familiar, this guy was a legend of the game within the North American region. So to have him behind is a huge support. You even got Warden here doing some supporting from Complexity of 1.6 days. And maybe people remember Jason Lake kicking chairs, but he's not here as far as I'm aware.
He did say if they win this stage, he'll be at the next.
Okay. Well, there you go. Maybe get him in his suit kicking some chairs.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yes, Complexity are a roster that indeed have their complexities. It is hard to get your head around exactly how far they can climb, and they're about to prove it versus Fnatic. The question raised, though, already is the maps. We'll get to them shortly. First, though, the head-to-head is brought to you by The Predator, which is in cinemas September 14th. And we've chosen to go for an interesting direction, Sean. Do you want to take this one? Yeah,
so we went with Crims, who's obviously been Fnatic's star player before Draken joined the lineup. Draken's kind of been up there with him, 1 and 2 lately. But then Ye on the Complexity side, he has played really, really well for Complexity lately. And I think he's catching the international attention that he didn't have, and it's always great because he's always smiling and like helping people out.
Dude, he is such a teddy bear.
Yeah, in their post-game interviews, they talked about him being the youngest and being like loud, and they like that from him. They like the fact that he brings the hype in that regard. So he had that amazing 1-on-4 situation as well in the challenger stage. So he's obviously got the potential. But now when you go into the server against players that you've been watching for years, that's when the story changes. That's when the younger players tend to crumble. So for him to stand up now against a Fnatic or the Flushes, the JWs, the Crimsons, who have all won majors before, if he can perform to that same extent, then props to him because he's taking steps in the right direction to be recognized as a world-class player.
The first time, this is going to be the second time we've seen in the last 3 months Ye plays against those stars, and of course the first time was versus Astralis in the challenger stage, which did not look pretty. In fact, he was bottom of the scoreboard as well.
And something that's interesting about Ye's playstyle is he's often very aggressive in his peaks. He's not really like a jiggle peaker. And yeah, that works really well when you're playing like teams like Big and Vega, but when you're playing against teams like Fnatic that will disrespect you, it's very different. So he could face some troubles here.
And talking of respect and disrespect, let's see if they do head up to Inferno, a map that we've seen so much from Complexity. If Fnatic are really wanting to go there again, I guess it's a double-edged sword. Chad, do you want to expand upon that?
Yeah, so obviously they've had to expend almost everything they had in the playbook just to get to this point, right? The tendencies, the positions you like to hold on those CT sides, the way you approach situations, the timing on your defaults, the tells of the grenades that you throw, all of those things Fnatic can have studied, they can have looked at, and they can have prepared for. The cool thing for Complexity is they have the chance to go, well, everything we do, we can change it up. Whether they're going to do that or not is another question. And I don't even know if it'll matter because Fnatic, if they can just, get the pistol round, get the first gun round, that's where it's going to be really hard to read them because Fnatic are a team who take those risks, take those plays that are super difficult to stay on top of.
Yeah, and you can see the whole Fnatic entourage there. There is a whole lot of Swedes.
Khan's here, yes. The big boss is here. So when he's around, you know you got to be paying attention. But the difference between these guys and Complexity is they don't have a hype man. Fnatic, when they get down, they don't talk. They get super quiet. Crims may look emotional on the camera, but in the server, he's just getting it done. But the thing is, these guys don't have a hype man. No one really pumping them up. Whereas if we sit down here and we stay and we listen, Complexity are yelling every round, every kill. And that's the problem with those type of teams. I was one of those teams. Is when you're losing and the hype's not there, it just feels so flat because you go from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and you kind of just sitting there looking at each other like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So that's a trap that younger teams definitely fall into.
Yeah, and of course, it's when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, it's just one map, right? If you have that vibe on round 8, you're looking at a 0-1 before you even started the game.
On toast.
On toast. That's one I'm not familiar with.
Oh.
Right, we're wrapping this one up into predictions, gentlemen. It's that time. We'll summon your casters as well by the power invested in me.
Yeah, that was quick.
Oh yeah, you see that? Wasn't that impressive?
Yeah,
I've been working on that. Took my days off, practiced some magic. And gentlemen, actually I'll let you two start, at least Jason. Anders, I'll let you be the curveball at the end. But, Jason, what are you saying? Are you flying that flag?
I wanted to so much, Alex, this morning when I woke up.
But what changed, Jason?
I'm going to go with Fnatic. I think it's that conversation. They are just bloodthirsty and stone cold, and I've been impressed with the complexity. I've liked what we've seen out of them, but it just feels like this is another big test, and I'm not ready to kind of commit to an upset there with them.
Sean, I see a couple of smirks and nods. What are you saying?
Sean's with me, I know it.
Jason's definitely turned. He's
Wow.
turned on
Listen,
on
Sean,
lately.
I'll call you out every time you don't pick an American team, too. I'll go right
Come
back
on,
at
Shorty
you.
boy. What are you doing?
I'm going to go Fnatic.
You absolute rat.
What is going on here? Chatty, what you got?
Fnatic.
Oh, my goodness. Anders, are you coming with me? Because I'm going complexity.
No,
I see the crumble.
He was going to do it before
already.
you said you were going complexity, but now that he's
Yep.
not the only one.
Yeah. That's it. Now I'll leave you alone with it, Alex. You've got that.
I'll
all
take
on
that
your
hot
own.
potato and I'll leave it. And talking of potatoes, we'll leave it with the Dane. Gentlemen, it is going to be none other than Anders Bloom and Jason Moses O'Toole to guide you through.
Cheers, boys. Thanks.
I can't believe he tried to throw you under the bus like that.
He did so hard. Oh, we'll have to beat him up. He's getting the code red.
He literally called you out as a traitor and then just picked up the phone and called the Russians in like 1 minute later. Like, you know, this is super unreasonable,
Hello,
isn't it?
I'm Sean. I'm for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, no, I really like this complexity team. I've talked a lot about them. Talk show yesterday with Duncan with our counterpoints. But I know, like, I think Ye is a really cool player. Android's obviously a really cool player. But for me, like, Shazam is just playing some really solid Counter-Strike right now. And then you have Def and Stanislaus just playing smart. So this team is going to be dangerous. The big thing, it's much like the FaZe versus Big that we just saw. Like, I was surprised that FaZe let it go to Dust 2. Equally, I'm surprised Fnatic let it go to Inferno. It's like,
Yes.
yeah, like you should have the deeper map pool in theory.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? I'm curious what you guys have been thinking at home. We do have the Upcomer app over at upcomer.com where you guys can vote to see who's going to win, and I reckon Fnatic probably going to have the majority here.
Yeah.
But that's a really big majority. I think there's another factor that maybe I think we mentioned at the end of the Challenger stage, but it's the idea that all the teams that have joined us since that haven't been at the hotel playing for all along, they're not used to the setup and they're not used to maybe the level of competition quite in the same way. I actually think it can make a big difference. I mean, I'm not going to claim that I saw the big upset happening because
I didn't until Dust 2 was picked, and then I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, then there was a chance, right? But I think it's also just the fact that you could come into a tournament like this one and you know, half of the field they're sort of already playing at this level. They're looking good and they know what it's like. They've battled their way through the brutal challenger stage, and
it's also like these teams, these lower tier teams like the Bigs and Complexities are fighting a little bit for respect, and Big is obviously very happy with the fact that people are going to keep overlooking them and people still going to, you know, still think they can just kind of roll in and just kind of overtake them. Complexity just has to prove they can do the same thing, right? It's not as easy as it's always said, but either way, here we go. We are going to be going live. Freeze time coming to an end. Complexity taking on Fnatic in this fourth match of the day. And Complexity is going to start on the CT side.
we'll see how that works out. They do have a smoke and a kit, so if anything goes horribly wrong, they can at least fight for the retake of a bomb site. Fnatic, though, just the one smoke and a flashbang, and yeah, a little bit of an upgraded pistol on Crim, so it looks like he's going to be the heavy hitter, and I think there was Exist that took one for the team and dropped him one, so always a good idea, and it pays off. Oh my god, instantly with Draken following up with 3 headshots. They happened within the span of 3 seconds, and that's around 1, Moses.
Holy hell. There's nothing strategic about that. That is just brute force into holes, and Fnatic hits everything. Draken with the triple kill very quickly. And that is like that is the kind of round in this pistol round. Drakens, they're even on the hunt already for Stanislaus. They want to take everything away in the pistol round. Oh, that is one that puts you on notice of your complexity.
If you're complexity as well, you call that round saying, what if we do double amps and double boiler? And they walk into a crossfire with 4 of our members
That's exactly
waiting.
what you wanted, yeah.
This is great. They've walked right into our trap. Oh, no, wait.
Listen, you just had like a hype speech. You got it from like Warden before going up and setting up at the PCs. Then you got it from Rambo right before the game starts. You're all rah-rah, you're ready to go. And then you just get absolutely dumped on.
It's a wild ride from Draken, isn't it? Just taking down 3 people very quickly.
The one thing that I have to say is, yeah, they walked right into the trap that Complexity wanted them in, but they all, like, the first half of that trap died instantly. So, like, the second half, the trap can't even really be sprung in time because they're just dead already. So you're supposed to be having, 4 people, 2 fighting from different angles, but when, the 2 die at the end of halls immediately on the first shots from those players, the guys don't even have time to react and come up the stairs and actually take those fights.
You're definitely right, and you could tell that there was some mistiming there for the complexity side. But they had the idea, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So now they lost the pistol, and they'll have to figure out where to go from here on out. They've bought, at least you could tell, armor and grenades and all the rest. So sorting out a peripheral problem. Looked like Flusher was having an issue. So that'll make for some great memes in Twitch chat.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited for that. 1-0.
Yeah, not much to say outside of. I mean, I still think it's a good idea for complexity in that kind of pistol round. It obviously leaves. I mean, they could have gone wrong a different way, right? The one person in B.
Didn't they? I think they did that pistol round in the challenger stage as well. I'm pretty sure they stacked over towards the halls and lane as well with Stanislaus alone at the B bomb site. It worked a little bit better, obviously there. Well, 1-0, and you got 3 AKs. You have MAC-10, UMP, so different tools. And I think we're going to get another restart of some sort.
Yeah, they are looking confused.
Everyone's saying in spawn, so I'm imagining the not live was called out.
Well, that's fair play, Moses. How did you enjoy your couple of days off here? We were, obviously, still at the hotel. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I did.
It's only yesterday, Moses.
Well, we had 2 days. I'm trying to think of the first day. Yesterday, I just did some work. Caught up some emails, backlog of things to respond to and take care of.
Yeah.
Talked to my mom, checked in, all that kind of fun stuff. Went out to dinner, Korean barbecue.
Oh, that's always a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, your absence was noted.
Yeah, well, I was busy doing other things, Moses.
Mm-hmm.
I had some work to attend to as well, so what can you do?
Trying to think of what we did. Oh, we went and saw the new Mission Impossible.
We did see that. And that was a good time.
That was a good time.
With the boys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Tom Cruise.
Love is a strong word, I'm not going to lie.
I do. I love every movie he makes. There's not, except for maybe the newest Mummy. That was a bit weird.
I don't remember I've seen it now.
The Mummy chick was kind of hot, so it's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's worth it. Worth it anyway. Fair play. Yeah, we are. I think it's Draken now that's been cursed by, I don't know, some sort of headset or sound problem.
It's contagious, this peripheral issue.
It is. This is, I mean, I've always wondered if this is like a limitation for esports, that maybe, what if you want to do like 10 versus 10, then you'd have, 20 mice, 20 keyboards, 20 graphics cards, 20 headsets, like a lot of things that go wrong suddenly, right?
What if you want to do a 99-person battle royale then?
Well, yeah, that's the genre, right? That's really going to have like some sort of issue with doing that kind of thing. But I don't know, maybe you just make that part of the, part of the fun. If your mouse breaks, you're just kind of screwed. Yeah, then, you got an Xbox controller you can plug in and good luck. Yeah, you just gotta try your very best. So, what are those lands that they've done? I forget who ran them. Which company or sponsor? Maybe it's good that I actually don't remember. Probably shouldn't say it anyways, just in case it conflicts. But those events where they have like they have the players in the booths, and then they like blast like sirens into the booth and like cold air and like a fog machine. So you're playing the game, and all of a sudden like a challenge pops up and like. You've just got to make it. Like one of them, like they unleashed bouncy balls, I think. So there was like 1,000 bouncy balls in the booth or something like that. That'd be funny. Or we could just go the old school, what was that, Russian land? That one looked good. Yeah. There was there's somebody to work with there. I like the idea, but maybe not for the major, Moses. I'm not gonna lie. No, not for the major, obviously. It might just impact it a little bit. We do have the countdown ready and back again for the second round, so we got rudely interrupted by just a hardware issue, and now we should be back in the mix once again. So only 4 smokes. I don't know, if they're all at the B bomb side, they could definitely do some damage in slowing down Fnatic. We've seen that before. Yeah, we'll see. Not always easy, especially because look at how aggressive Flush already is. So a minute and 40 seconds, one gets thrown out. A little bit of damage taken, nothing to be too excited for. So you still have Stanislaus and Def, both at the B bomb site. So essentially, you can't really block them off towards A, although Android does have 1. It's kind of like it's kind of banana where they're going to put the emphasis on stalling and delaying, hoping that maybe Fnatic comes back to this bomb site later on. But they're doing the right thing, Fnatic. The Swedes are applying pressure, making noise, really testing the nerve of complexity and seeing if they're going to throw one more out early. Exactly what you want, and if you can't make them come B, then at least you'll funnel them into the A bomb site where 3 people are waiting. So see how that all works out. Android is also over here with a couple of grenades to block off one of the sides there. Molotov to force back anyone at top mid with 50 seconds left. We'll see how it all works out here for the complexity side. They'd love to be able to bring it back early on. They are having a pretty decent rotation now. I think Stan put his grenade out over at Banana, and now he's just fallen back to help out. So good smokes to block off Archway and Library here. And this wraparound could be really good, but now they're running out of time on the Swedish side. 30 seconds. They need to make their way into this bomb site, and right about now as well. Last guy still at B. Shazam picking up one good kill. A bit of a refrag coming in. Stan. Oh my god, double kill for him with the C-set 75, and now Draken 19 seconds in a 1 versus 2. It's a horrible turn of events, and Android will take him down. The Swedish team slowing it down so much that once they got into that fight, they just could not control it.
Yeah, they were blocked off every which way. First by their own smokes, and then obviously the flashbangs that were coming out and just the amount of bodies. That's a great play from Shazam coming through as bait. You get the 1 kill, you die. They don't expect a second player to be there already. Stanislaus comes in for the double. Beautiful work from Complexity to respond in that round. That rotation is just in time from Stanislaus. I believe he put down his smoke at 47, so it would have expired at 30. They had one more smoke at the B bomb site, and he obviously cheats over towards A, and it is the winning recipe. Here we go, though. Challenge at Banana. They know Exist is close up. Oh, no, they don't. Maybe they didn't spot him. That's a huge loss. Def's got to get this kill, grab the AK-47, and he's going to stick around for more of a fight. There's smoke down, so he can be safe. Doesn't want to get unlucky through that smoke, but UK's second favorite player is still in the tournament as well. That's a cool story.
It is kind of a cool story. It did look like they were going to spot him from the jump, so I don't know. They could have been. They probably had their focus on something else, but regardless, that could have been very dangerous if Exist had somehow overrun both of them. That would have been bad news all around for Complexity. Don't want to give away this lead that you've just managed to build up. And the Swedes have actually bought into this round, so there's a big chance right now for the American side to have a big impact early on in this game, and that's in spite of losing the pistol. So just overall a great job.
Rie sees the elbow of the blind player, even the wrist of JW showing. So he's going to get out of there, not able to find the kill here. Going to come right back up at him, and there's the UMP, and it doesn't do anything. JW gets the headshot. Def is going to follow it up, but losing some players, it's not the biggest deal as long as they win this round, but it's really going to start thinning things out. That's the kill you can't give up. Android alone with an auto shotgun is not happy.
Oh, Shazam, though, good positioning here. They weren't expecting it with the M4. 20 seconds now, and as long as he doesn't die right now, basically, they can't make it to the bomb site, so they're sort of hesitating maybe a bit too much. That is the bomb now alone in a 1 versus 2, and JW trying to hunt it down with 10 seconds left. Knife is out, of course, but he's actually going to get him down to 8 health. Shazam with the quad kill, they managed to make it through the round, although losing, I would agree, more players than they needed to.
Absolutely. They lost one of those AK-47s, lost a bunch of SMGs, but it's fine as long as they win because Fnatic, they didn't do enough. That plant would have helped if they maybe wanted to buy and keep forcing in this round. I just don't think you can on this T side. Here we go into it. Should be just Glock's Complexity with a very solid start here.
Yeah, and they see it coming as well. They've bought a bunch of MP9s. They've held on to the other shotguns. So overall, I think they're just feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah, nice little bonus round. Build some cash up and keep some of these SMGs alive for the next round and see what you can get. Maybe upgrade some of into some of those AKs. And I think Stan trying to bait them to come through that nade is perfect. The flashbang on the other side is not. This is cleanup. Left and right. Well done from Def and Stanislaus. It's just Crims. And he can't get anything done.
So slowly going to be taken down. They're just hunting for him. And why not? 3-1 in favor of the Complexity side. So great job right now.
I wonder if Shazam is going to drop the M4 and pick up an AWP for himself. I feel like that would be the play they'd want to make because we've seen so much how Shazam can influence on this map. He's been phenomenal on it. Yeah. Even though he's not always, the top player statistically, his kind of presence with the AWP has been great. His aggression towards alt mid, his aggression down middle.
Yeah, and even when they have him hold banana, right?
They rotate him over there every once in a while.
So I feel like he's really dynamic, moving around, and it's just cool. I agree with Shawnee. Maybe he hasn't got the credit he kind of deserves for the effort that he's been putting into the major so far. Round number 5 now sneaking on in. It could have been very dangerous for Draken, I think, coming out of the underpass there, but it's fine for now.
Oh, great shot from Crims. That's in Halls. That's spam, actually. Excuse me. Well done. Stanislaus gets the return, the equalizer through smoke. So both teams getting a little bit of a gift here. Oh, but they're not going to expect this. Look at JW marching right up. Shazam coming in for a delayed peek. He's going to press the issue, it looks like, but holds himself back as the Molotov reigns in, and Stanislaus now in a new position.
Yeah, very aggressive play from Fnatic, pretty much all across the board there. Didn't really manage to take all the banana, but it's fine right now. They're in 4-3. They still have about 55 seconds left. So overall, they're in a pretty good position. Bit of an off angle here for Stanislaus, but once you see the grenades, he's a bit worried about a flashbang to follow up. There was none, and he's going to get 2 big kills. That's massive. Not enough bullets for the third one, but still inside the bomb site is Android waiting with that auto shotgun. And he just hoping that it's going to be JW making the first move. Crim's down to the low ground. If he finds him first, it's trouble. But there's the top of his face now. Def goes down. And Android, can he sneak in and stop the plant? He's going to get it, but JW shooting him in the back. It's a really good effort, but just not enough. It looked like they almost brought it back there.
You can see the limitation in that shotgun, can't you? Like, just he really wanted to take a fight way earlier, and he knows if he goes back, if he had that deeper one out by Pope, out by that broken wall, maybe able to actually peer up and take the head off of JW. Great hold from Stanislaus was the only thing keeping it in this round, but that pressure that JW applied in halls was gorgeous. Forced a lot of weird situations and obviously helping to cover the planter. It's alright though, they got 4 kills Complexity, and now they're going to have a decent buy. Shazam still on the AWP, 2 M4s. Decent amount of utility as well, so a chance to respond here early on and kind of cripple the attack.
A little bit too much fire damage taken from Flusher, and look at Shazam, you mentioned this up close. He's not going to get it this time, but that was a risk that he wanted to take just to try and see if he could edge in that kill. Now, Android really wants that gun back, but they're holding on to it. Bit of a close peek, and Crims actually gets punished for it. There's the AWP stolen, so not bad after all. JW going to return the kill and take down the A. That's a problem for that solo AWP player now. Android, how do you find a good position to play? And actually, I think he got spotted doing that.
I think so as well, but I don't know if JW realizes that he's in holes. Yeah, Flusha tries to bait out the shot. Bites off more than he can chew, but look at the aggressiveness of JW marching right underneath. They know there's 2 flanking, so JW can get aggressive, but 1 more kill for Android. That's huge. JW can't punish him, and Android holding on. He's waiting for his teammate to come through halls, but it's just not quick enough. There, finally, Draken finds him, but the bomb is all the way back. They've got to fight for it.
What a confusing round for Fnatic right now. They've got to be really worried about how this turns out. Draken alone with 22 health against Stanislaus. I mean, with 35 seconds here, the pressure is obviously on Draken to try and get that bomb back, but how does he make that one work? Smoking it up in front, going to be walking into it, and Stan waiting on the other side. Bomb has been picked up, and Stanislaus is just not quite ready. Could have taken a blind shot through, but that's not also risk-free. I mean, you could definitely get punished trying to do that. So Bomb going to go all the way down here. Draken completing the first part of the mission. Now all that's left is hitting this close shot against Stanislaus. He's going to have exactly 1 chance to do it, and you can tell he's worried that he's coming in from the other side. And Stanislaus slowly eliminating all the possible options. Now he sees the gun barrel, and that's going to be the round. Very close, but it pays off for Complexity. Oh, no. Oh, that's just heartbreaking, isn't it?
It's kind of funny. Nice job from Stanislaus. Good round from Complexity again, just barely hang on. He knows there's another op elsewhere. His team probably called it out. Yeah, that's a tough position for Draken to be in with that bomb. You almost like have to get aggressive, but low HP and an unwieldy weapon. This is all Android. You want to see why people have been talking so highly of him. Just 2 kills in that round, but they were pretty critical in the context of things. He was kind of all alone at that bomb site as the flank comes up middle. Able to find a couple frags. 4-2, and there's the response. Even with the bomb plant, Fnatic just doesn't have enough money to buy into it. So it's the upgraded pistols, trying to do some damage, trying to keep Complexity low. They've got all 5 players beneath $1,000, so they too are kind of backs against the wall, economically speaking.
I think Fnatic must just be very confused. I don't think they're used to playing against this kind of thing that Complexity are throwing at them. I
think they're going to be frustrated because actually they've done a good job in the few gun rounds we've had of kind of neutralizing that early aggression and early damage. Even that round, JW was great in the halls to taking out Shazam, taking out the 1 more player, being able to pressure up lane, and just for whatever reason it's just not having the impact they'd like. Still a decent place to be in on the T side, 2-4, and you've got the money of your opposition in a reset scenario.
I think it's that whole thing where they have to take a long fight against that AWP that's trying to be recovered in Boiler Room, and then they actually have 1 guy left on the A-bomb side, but suddenly they're getting shot in the back from middle. It's like, it's very confusing, and it's just a little bit all over the place.
Obviously, the bomb falling in at that corner was just, that was the real killer, the back-breaking moment.
This round should be a moment to maybe relax a little bit more for Complexity if they don't get weirdly run boosted on. No, they just cancel that in the middle of it. That's fine. Trying to get close to Shazam. Still playing with the AWP. Good flashbang from a teammate to make sure they don't get too close. And Now they're slowly getting whittled down. Shazam finding another kill and closing out the round. So just a moment of a little bit of danger there, but they managed to survive it. Good team flash. We love seeing that. And Complexity now 5-2. Good beginning.
Yeah, that one helps a lot. They'll have another bye in the next round, even if they're to lose this. So that round of kind of flawless winning gives them enough money. Fnatic still kind of right on that edge. They have got the AKs. They've got a UMP just for the extra utility. A Galil as well exists, had to go down to. Who's going to step it up for Fnatic here? Shazam with the op, going for his aggressive plays. Saw him do this just previously. He's got to worry about that underpass. And he's got to worry about alt mid, but he has the timing. Backs away now. And equally, Fnatic haven't really been able, they haven't really put up too much of a fight for that banana control once the guns are out. We haven't seen them really kind of challenge and pressure Stanislaus and Def early on in that direction.
No, there's a huge help when you're on the CT side, isn't it? Just knowing that you can stick around there for a long time. In fact, they've moved even further up than they were in the beginning. And Fnatic don't have a lot of Molotovs. I don't know if you used any of them early on, but they don't have any now. If they wanted to force them back, that would be kind of tricky.
I think they only came into the round with one, and I believe that was on Flusha, maybe Exist. That's certainly, yeah, they've used it somewhere. Shazam can hold Boiler. And Smoke does isolate him, though, from many of his teammates, but he's going to back off as soon as he sees something. That's a pretty wide angle, and yeah, he just doesn't want to mess with it. Didn't have it when they started marching up, so wise decision, just falls away. Again, they've used utility Fnatic. They've only got 2 smokes and a flashbang, and they're going to go right back at B. Here we are. They force the defense back at the A site. Problem is, Stanislaus is just jump spotting, although they don't have any smokes or Molotovs at this B bomb site.
Yeah, so if they rush, maybe this can work out. They need one strong kill. Stanislaus almost given to them. That's very dangerous. The flashbang out, and now all on Def in the corner with an MP9. It's very hard to spray down that many people, even if you don't get spotted. So far, no one's checking. He's going to get the big double kill. That's actually more than I was expecting. Not a bad job with 15 seconds now. All the pressure now on the Swedish team. And Stanislaus trying to push in. He's going to get the 1 kill, and that's enough as well. Now it's a 1 versus 3 here for Draken. He's picked up an AK-47, but still a lot to finish this round still. No smokes or grenades or anything on him right now. Couple of Molotovs landing in the corner, just clearing out the most likely positions here. And soon they're going to find him. And if he doesn't find soon, they're going to be too close by the time it happens. Getting jumped on by an MP9 always feels bad. That's a good retake and just a good round for Complexity.
I cannot believe they didn't clear out Def. I can't believe no one checked that whatsoever. I thought, to be honest with you, he was going to peek with that flashbang that Stanislaus dropped as he fell back, but that is a very, I mean, it's very common and it's just sneaky. He doesn't even bother with it. No one checks it whatsoever. Nobody on the Fnatic side even considers it. Obviously able to spray him down. Stanislaus trading that 3rd kill. That's a beautiful crossfire setup, but it's helped by the fact if they do check that and he goes down, that's a lost bomb site and likely around for Fnatic.
Yeah, definitely. So what a great start. Complexity surprising us a little bit yet again. Now we've got armor and CSET 75 being picked up on the Swedish side. See if they can maybe return the favor and get back in the game a little bit early on. You definitely want that. But it's also a risk, isn't it?
This Major is wild at the moment. So many teams punching above their weight, it seems, coming into this.
Should we be surprised, Moses? I feel like it's happened for the last 3 majors at least.
Yeah, but not. It feels like it's not to this degree. We're actually at the point now where we're in the next stage, right? You're in the Legend stage, and you have a team like Complexity being able to actually battle. This is a rare sight in majors, and this is cool stuff. Android going to get forced out. Not aware Draken had already jumped down. Here's an opportunity, a 3-on-3. They have the A bomb site. The bomb though is stuck in the pit. They're going to start salvaging some weapons. What can they make happen? Just ducking under the shot, and yeah, they can't stop the plant. This is actually going to be a difficult retake.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good grenade landing. Follow-up Molotov is going to waste a lot of time for Complexity. They're kind of weirdly stuck in library right now, and they don't want that at all. They don't have any grenades of their own to try and clear out Fnatic inside of here. They have a flashbang maybe, but a Molotov would have been great at the moment. Draken ready to take his first fight. Not really able to hit the shot. They are all lined up. This could be lethal for Complexity, but they found a way to get a couple of kills, and now it's just JW left on the bomb site. He's going to go down as well. What a retake happening. Complexity. I can't believe that Fnatic weren't able to do even a little bit of damage in that.
Ooh, and even taking the time to talk to your teammate discuss a couple things, maybe iron out an angle. But yeah, that's a beautiful retake. Just hit some great shots. And obviously, I think the big kill that they were able to get was Exist over in Graveyard. You know, when they start making that retake through Small Pit, they have a player watching for that exact peak, so they're on point. Very aware, well communicated as they enter into this bomb site. 7-2, saving a very awkward situation.
That's one of those rounds where Fnatic, they get like a little taste of what it's like to have something go their way, and then it
gets taken away from them.
It gets taken away right afterwards.
Jesus, it's been 7 of the last 8 rounds for Complexity. Fnatic really, really struggling. They got Draken on the AWP. Shazam's going to challenge, and yeah, it's a bit too much. Overeager, and there's the punishing kill. So now the defense split 2 at the B bomb site, 2 at the A bomb site, and we'll see how they can adapt. A lot of pressure on Android, who's going to be alone at the pit position. Stanislaus got a Molotov and a smoke over at B, and he's the sole defender. He's got to hold on to that. He's got to hold on to his nerve and the utility.
Ooh, are they just risking 4 at A this time? It almost feels like it.
I think they feel the pressure. I think they're going to collapse on here when that smoke clears, and I think that's why they're being called over.
Yeah, but there's nobody defending B right now for the CT side, so big risk. If this works out, Fnatic are going to feel so incredibly red, and that's a great kill for Ye. Just edging in on Draken. I'm not sure why he wasn't able to react in time, and now they're actually trying to take top mid, but everybody's here, and they're getting shut down. The bomb is stuck here as well. This is a big problem. JW staying alive for the minute, but now it's a 1-on-2. The bomb is at top mid, and Flusher has to make his way all the way back. What a huge gamble for Complexity, but the reward, you see it instantly. Smoke actually going off in the Molotov, and now Flusher trying to edge his way closer. Gonna miss his first opportunity, does get the kill, but the follow-up Android right around that corner. And that's a triple for Android. He's playing a fantastic game right now. 8-2 in the favor of Complexity.
That's a great call. That is such a brilliant call from the defense on Complexity. You're a man down. You had the utility. I think that was the key part, because Stanislaus could put a smoke at the car at the top of Banana and just rotate over, and you can take that risk. You've got about 20 seconds to make it happen, right? So you run over. You're hoping you can do a pop flash and peek, and obviously once that pick comes in, Fnatic thinks the op's just going to fall away, and because Complexity is at the disadvantage, they're able to. I mean, they have to kind of do something, and they were prepared entirely for that. That's a call you don't normally see a lot of North American teams make. It's been coming into style.
Yeah, but I actually think even a lot of teams that make it, they would make it as in let's all go like A or B, but we play defensively, and if they come
play passive in the bomb site.
If they come, it's great, yeah. But if they don't, then it's kind of a waste of opportunity. And the fact that, as you pointed out, they actually retook middle at like 25 seconds. I mean, that's pretty cool. So, shocking beginning here to this match between Fnatic and Complexity. You could tell Fnatic are definitely not ready for what they are being put up against. They have, I mean, this is the danger of best of ones, right? They've got almost no time to recover. They need to figure something out right now.
Well, last time they got close to winning a round, they actually were able to get into the bomb site with these CZs. Shazam going for the peek, misses it. That smoke's going to clear, and they actually don't even let him get away. Here we go again. Shazam's gotten picked off a number of times now in middle. Flashbang over. Android's going to get himself in library in great position. He's going to spray them all down. They line up coming through the smoke. Beautiful triple kill to hold on to this site. And they should be able to last from here. He's going to get one more in him, and he might be able to get the ace. Crims is waiting. Android's at 15 HP. Yeah, should be able to find this last one, and the knife is out, and it's going to get a slash, but not a kill. 9-2. We're getting a lot of knives, Anders, you and I, in this major so far.
I love it.
Yeah.
We've even had a fantastic Zeus just a couple of weeks ago, right?
Did we?
Yeah, I mean.
Oh yeah, the entry on Hut. Yeah, that was great.
That was enjoyable. So as long as we get more of that, I'm all for it. But maybe knifing isn't the way forward for Fnatic. It's a bold strategy, but I just don't think it's working out.
Well, they also just slashed their teammate. JW down to 87 coming out of spawn, so playing with the handicap is the Swedish side. Ooh, here, this is one of the first times we've seen anyone actually challenge this, and he's gonna, there's 3 players here, so he better be careful with how he goes through it. Decent damage done with utility. There's the ult right through the half wall. Shazam finds him. This time he gets the opening kill, and look at Fnatic. They want nothing more to do with this B bomb site. They see Shazam there, and they assume that it's triple B, and they're correct, and they need to hit this A bomb site.
He was just there, Moses, pondering the meaning of life, and doesn't even get a chance, does he? Flusher out of the round, taken down through the wall. It's a little bit rough. Good flank coming in, but it doesn't really pay off. And now the B-bomb side is completely undefended.
I think Stanislaus ran just a bit too much. It looked like Fnatic heard it. They had the offer, but now look at the follow-up push from Ye. He stopped Draken. Low HP on Crims. It's a tough fight, and Fnatic, they're just stalled out. Everywhere they go, Complexity has the answer to at least make them second-guess themselves.
Yeah, this is one of those rounds where I think normally in that 3-on-3, Fnatic they would get the bomb and they would make it to the B-bomb side, and at least it would be an afterplant. Right now, they might even just lose crossing the next corner. Shasam's got a really good position, already scoped up. They do have a Molotov, but they're not going to be able to get quite rid of him yet. Smoke is going to be a bit annoying, so he'll fall back and look for the next one. Looked like there was a gap there. That could be very dangerous. Oh, he sees it coming as well. JW, gun barrel showing. He doesn't get the flick, but now they're being called for an Android. Picking up a kill and leaving JW in a 1 versus 3 with about 15 seconds here doesn't seem possible. JW trying to get in the great no-scope, but he still needs the bomb plant. 8 seconds now, and he's finally going to be able to put it through. Can he survive in this corner, though? One missed shot, and they're going to be right on top of an Android, just not even afraid. Walking right in to get that kill. 10 rounds now for the Complexity side.
Walking right into the flashbang, and they've done a great job making sure that Fnatic can never really be comfortable in these bomb sites. They haven't really had to do too many retakes except for the one round Fnatic got in with CZs, and they made it look easy, but this is great from Complexity. Those aggressive peaks, the flank of the two players all the way up mid. I think they could have waited until Fnatic was actually committed to the bomb site, because when they go down, it does introduce that element. The follow-up aggression from Ye is kind of what saves it, and it's great from Complexity to be able to salvage that situation, but this is a stunning result so far.
It is. I almost feel like Fnatic need the last 3 rounds here just to stay competitive in this Inferno game. Otherwise, it might just be a little bit too far slipped. We've seen teams that do struggle on the T side, and maybe Complexity are going to run into trouble themselves.
Well, Complexity had that famous, they had like a 12-3 half or something like that on one of their sides, and then they lost that 1 versus 3 in the pistol round of the T half, and then it was another comeback. And that was the qualifying game, I believe. Yeah,
and there are some games there are some players on this Fnatic lineup that are pretty good on Inferno, especially on the B-bomb side, right?
Historically, yeah.
You would think that they could put up a defense, but they kind of do need the buffer anyway, right?
Yep.
Let's see how it works out. Round number 13. Scoreline 10 to Complexity, 2 to Fnatic, which is kind of strange to be saying.
Well, great chance here. They've brought Shazam down to 7 HP, so he'll have to be more passive. They can't just post him up on that half wall anymore. They'll need to find some kills over here at A. Shazam alone towards the CT spawn side of the B bomb site. Crims waiting. Ye on the other side. Android here as well. They have this lane set up. We've seen it a number of times in the challenger stage. Very well drilled for every possible attack. Exists lining up a pop flash. They're going to come through this. At least Crims wants to come out. There he is. No one spotted him just yet. He's running through flames. He wants Stanislaus. Turns the corner. Sees absolutely nothing. Late peek. He knows what's coming, but he can't stop it. He's the only member. Fnatic just throw him forward to the Wolves to see what they have.
It's not a bad idea at all. Still got 40 seconds left, and might be a chance to get the kill on Ye. Actually, JW, he repositioned himself just when Ye was walking into the crosshair there, so that's a bit unfortunate. Stan going to pick up Exist, and Draken was a bit distracted by that, and the whole thing collapses. You could just tell. A couple of seconds off on all of that. It works out in favor of Complexity.
Complexity's doing such a great job of attacking points on the map, even as the defense. When Fnatic's getting their bracket control, they're like pausing, right? And you're pausing to set up the next stage of that attack, and Complexity doesn't want to give them that time. I mean, Android and Ye stepping forward in lane, being able to spin and turn around and know what's coming next. This is great reads from Complexity. Nothing is working for Fnatic. Not the entries, not the lurking in those halls, but this is the solution. They got dualies.
Moses.
That's my answer to every problem in Counter-Strike. Dualies, yeah.
There's a reason you're an ex-pro, I suppose. This might be one of them.
Oh God.
Oh, Flusher. Now, just Crims the dualies. Moses, they do nothing.
Yeah, I think every time we've seen them, they've done absolutely nothing, which is a shame. No one's really been able to realize the full power.
You should do a video on it. If you're this confident, you should do like a little...
Listen,
how to use, like, I would love that guide.
Sean's seen my duelie ability in some pugs. Maybe he'll talk about it on the desk. Probably not.
Oh,
but maybe.
Another burned out pro.
12-2. This I'm in this weird limbo, Anders. I don't know how you feel about it, of where I don't know if this is like Complexity looking really good or Fnatic looking really flat. Maybe I mean the reality is probably going to be somewhere in the middle, but I haven't been really impressed with anything that Fnatic's brought to the table here in this game.
Me neither. I think yeah, I think it is a mix of both, but I actually think I think we are seeing a little bit of that sort of complexity. They know what's at stake here. They've already been here a week playing, and great timing on Shazam getting that kill on Draken. And I think Fnatic are just waking up a little bit cold, maybe. I mean, the desk was sort of talking about it a bit going into it, how they needed that hype man to get them back in the game, and as they were doing that, Flusher was yawning on camera. So, you know,
I did
there
like
might be
that.
something to it, you know.
And no, I mean, Fnatic's never needed a hype man. They've never once needed it through all the years. They've found their own motivation in hype. And it was usually everybody hating them. Maybe just not enough people hate them anymore. Here we go. Flashbang's out to slow this down, and there's only so many times you're going to get away with that peek if you're deaf. This is going to be tough. This is probably the biggest test that Complexity will have had in this half. Stanislaus waiting. I think he wants a pop flash, but no one's got one. Only Ye, and he's coming up banana.
Yeah, really, really good opportunity here. Flusher instantly tagging Ye, so gonna have to use the grenade. He will make it around the corner and actually gets the shot off, but Shazam goes down and so does Stanislaus, so it's looking way better now. 2-on-2, or actually 2-on-1 as Ye goes down, and Android just can't follow it up. Very, very hard to retake that one. 3-12, they are still gonna be very happy. Stanislaus with 19, Android with 19. They are playing a great game right now.
Yes, this is great from... I mean, obviously, individual players stepping up is huge. We've seen Android have a number of important rounds over towards Pit. Stanislaus as well with some big flanks in that B bomb site. But it's been tactically, I think, more impressive for Complexity than even the individual stars. Some of those calls for the flanks, some of those calls for the aggressions, and coming into this game and not being afraid of Fnatic whatsoever. Not being afraid of any of this.
I think it's very refreshing. I feel like for the longest time, in European CS and even outside of it, people had kind of forgot how to play the CT side on almost all maps. It was getting really frustrating. And part of the problem really was that people were being very passive. Like, there was no retake of anything. Even at, like, you know, 50, 40 seconds, people just had no idea what was happening on the map, and they were just waiting around. So
yeah,
good to see a change. Now let's see if Complexity can follow through and actually win the map here. Certainly that'd be big for everybody involved. They would love it.
I'd love it. I'm wishing I had stuck with my gut upon waking up this morning.
I wish Alex hadn't picked it, so I could have been the one to pick it. Because I just wanted to be the only one, but he ruined it for me.
Yeah, that's you.
It's fine. Alex deserves it. He deserves a big win.
They're gonna
He's
take some. They're gonna take some attention to mid and try and get Android out of these halls. See if it works out. Exist is isolated underneath the balcony. He's all alone in there. That smoke isn't gonna help anyone. Fnatic not able to make this work, and he's going to go down with no response from the team. There was nothing they could do. They're actually flashing themselves around Rapside through the smoke. Draken calling it out, but Crims is out in the open. That's a great headshot. He needs more, though. And now they're sandwiched in Library, and Flush is helping his boy out, but assassinated from behind, and JW with a massive sequences of misses. Massive sequence of misses.
Yeah, that could be a highlight all on its own, Moses, but probably not the one that he would appreciate.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. There are a lot of shots like that, I think, from Fnatic in this round.
I don't understand, like, the idea that Fnatic has. Why is Exist abandoned in Porch when one smoke goes up? They had the players around. It seemed like they just kind of, like, miscommunication and how to kind of set that up from there.
So really far ahead, and now even further ahead. If they can win this round, there probably is not much left to fight for if you're on the Fnatic team, so they've obviously bought into it, and why not? Scout on Crims, C-set 75 and the rest, except for Flusher with the Deagle. Flusher's had a pretty rough game so far. 2 kills in about 16 rounds. We want to see more.
That's not ideal. I mean, we kind of tabbed him out as one of the players while JW's had a resurgence, while we've seen you know, Crims playing so well this year. Flusher is kind of that one player who we've talked about a number of times that we feel just hasn't kind of lived up to his past. I mean, remember, this is this historically at one point, I know this is kind of a while back, but he's always been one of the best performing players of the majors.
Yes.
Statistically, he was for like the first 5 or 6 majors.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Not quite seeing that right now, although it's, I guess, kind of early on for them. I do think there is like that mental difference of Complexity having already been here. They've already been at the boot camp, Moses. They know what's up.
They did that intense 10-day boot camp,
yeah.
and then went to the challenger stage. Left a trail of corpses in their wake. Qualified for Legends. Fnatic is next.
It's looking good right now.
The one thing Fnatic have good going for them, Anders, is those new jerseys. Those are killer. Those camo jerseys.
Yeah, they look pretty cool.
I'm gonna get one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know how yet.
No, you'll find a way.
Yeah.
Well, Khan is here.
I'll probably buy one.
Oh yeah, that could be. I mean, that's the easy way, Moses. That takes out all the challenge. Could go talk to Khan. I feel like that would help.
Yeah, but he'd probably have me I'd have to do something for them to get a jersey. I don't want to do that.
You could do it right now. You say something nice about them in this round, Moses, and it'll probably work out.
Okay.
You could just twist it. Find a way to make him look good.
Well, here we go. Deft challenging. A lot of utility. Fnatic trying to steal this one back. They did save weapons, and they're pretty much all in every single round at this point. Could have saved, but you don't want to play for overtime when you're down by 11. Great damage in this, though. They haven't taken any in return. Beautiful utility usage from Fnatic.
That's what I like to hear. We'll see if it's going to pay off at the end. It does make a bit of a difference to have two people tagged up like that. So 3-man stack towards the B bomb site and 2 over at A, but they are pretty far apart, so it's kind of hard for them to help each other out really in any reasonable way. Seems like they are just going to be mainly waiting around, which is what we didn't see Complexity do all that much.
No, but also we didn't see Complexity force back onto Scouts and Deagles and CZs, you know, all too much. In the one round we really did. Yeah. They won it, so fair play. They had the tools, they had the utility, the weaponry to make it all work. Nice stack here, though, from Fnatic. This is a good call.
That shot could have been a beautiful double, but Shazam and then Ye with a follow-up, and they just run down the pistols. Nice attempt here, and at least a shot through the smoke for Draken. It's not bad at all, but the timing won't give him a second lucky shot, and I don't even know what the right call is right now. 14-3. Almost certainly about to be 15-3. 2 versus 4 retake with CSET 75s. They may be good, Moses, but they're not that good.
No.
What if you could buy a dual CSET 75, Moses? Would you be in favor of it?
Oh, God, there it is.
God, that is really well done. Taking down Def and Ye, and now they're going to be smoking off the bomb. They do have a kid picked up just then, actually, JW, and he's going to be right on top of it. Android trying to guess the angle through. 1 more second left, and oh my God. We finally got our knife, but the cost is immense for Complexity. How did they not get the kill on him?
That was like the laziest attempt to stop a defuse in a smoke I've ever seen in my life from everyone involved.
Just completely complacent one day. Like,
like, this is surely not.
We're cruising through. It's all fine. We've got this round. And then suddenly double kill with the Deagle. And yeah, this is...
I mean, he was running out of bullets, so he's trying to tap and everything, right?
But there's another player there as well.
Yeah.
Why is nobody...
It just felt weird.
Very confused.
They have a pretty big history of losing some head-scratching rounds in that bomb site. That's also where they lost that 3-on-1 with the bomb planted.
Oh, yeah.
Who was that against? One of the CIS teams, I believe.
Yeah, you're maybe right.
Spirit, maybe?
So anyway, that's... I don't know. Is that what Fnatic needed? Are we looking for the good 12-round comeback, Moses?
Yeah, I don't know if we can say... I mean, it's obviously possible. I don't know if we can say we're too excited about it just yet. I think here comes a boost, or perhaps Crims is calling for it. Completely blind. Flush is able to spray the angle. He had it down. Yay falls. So, yeah, this gets much more difficult for Complexity now. Actually got to fight and claw against weapons instead of the Deagles and CZs. They would have had another round against that on map point. So we get prolonged.
There was a point in time, Moses, where not quite this Fnatic lineup, but at least the core of it, if you made this kind of mistake, you could really get completely turned on. And you kind of almost knew it when you sort of felt it when it was happening, but good push into the bomb site. I have no idea how they managed to be that successful. 3-on-3, and another retake attempt here for Fnatic Complexity. The quick closure is what they're looking for, and I don't blame them.
Shazam's got the ult. That's going to be the key piece for this defense to prevent this retake from happening. Once this smoke clears, Shazam's going to have a free angle, and he should be able to get 1 or 2.
There's a Molotov as well. If it gets really close to the time, that might be something that he's looking for. Instead, going to put it onto Draken, and he has to just run in, forced into the fight. Going to be taking down Android. Shazam does get his 1 kill, and oh my god, point-blank range, taking down Draken, and Exist is in a lot of trouble. He's going to get the kill, sure, but he's going to have to spend all day fighting Shazam over here. And he just having that kind of time. He does get the kill, but yeah, no kit to be picked up, and he has to make a run for it. Round number 15 now in the pocket for Complexity. No mistakes this time, Moses.
No, not this time.
They're going to finish it.
Yeah, Shazam holds on. It was the ult, but I think that was pretty smart from Fnatic, smoking him off in that fashion, at least making it difficult. And he's still able to get some work done coming through the smoke as well. Nice work from Complexity. And there were some low HP players on that entrance into the B bomb site. I'm actually surprised, like you said, they found the entries and even got in. Especially without a kit, just too far gone for Fnatic. So pistols are back out. Scout on Draken. They have 1 kit on Exist. He was able to keep the Famas alive. It'd have to be 11 straight. We'll see how it goes. Flashbang's utility out. There's a shot. No tag. And Shazam is going to pick off Crims at the B bomb site, challenging with the Deagle.
So, not the beginning to the major here that Fnatic were hoping for, obviously. Losing 2 in this round. It's JW down and Crims, as well as you mentioned, over by Banana. 5 versus 3. And Flusher, I mean, why not try and sneak through the smoke? EA is going to absolutely stop him.
I'm really liking this Complexity we're seeing. I doubt anyone gives him Inferno. So this is going to be the next test. Like, right? Let's put this in the context of Complexity winning this.
Sure.
I think from now on, especially in the BO1s where you have enough bans, Inferno's taken away from Complexity. So now they have to show that they have a deep enough map pool. And that's one of the things they'll have had to have worked on.
Look at Ye. I mean, he can't even sit still. He's just so excited. Oh, you just have to love it, don't you?
Living up to his name.
Yeah.
Do you think he yells it every time they win?
Probably.
Yay!
He should start doing that. If he doesn't... Draken, I mean...
He does have just a big grin on his face, doesn't he?
Yeah, but why wouldn't you? You are not favored to win this, and then you completely upset the whole situation.
We need to go to a Ye cam right now. He's jacked up.
16-4, ladies and gentlemen. Complexity taking down Fnatic on Inferno for the first game here at the Legend stage. That is shocking.
That is really cool. And it's not by any kind of like crazy, you know, they had these insane resets of the economy of their opponent, you know, winning both pistol rounds. Remember, they had to return the favor after losing that first pistol round. They had some challenges early on, but that CT side was just so fun to watch. Really cool how they were just aggressive at different points, different locations, at different timings. And Fnatic, no idea how to handle it, which I think for me is really surprising that players that experienced couldn't come up with anything.
Yeah, it feels like one of those things where they sort of just roll out of bed and they're like, oh, okay, we pick Complexity, it's gonna be easy, it's fine, you know, and then
we've been beating American teams for 3 years running now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think maybe a lack of focus at the beginning of that game, it definitely felt like it, and then they just weren't able to recover. So
my boy Rambo's got this team playing well.
Yeah. You gotta appreciate that. What a cool result here early in the day, or I guess like halfway through the day now, but still.
Stanislaus 23 kills, Android 22, Shazam 20. That's a solid scoreline to read down the list. That's a lot of your big-time performers, and in that sense, Ye didn't even need to do too much. We've kind of painted him as one of the stars of this team, but you know, who cares? You got 3 teammates over 20.
He just had to look happy and just be happy. It was great.
That was his contribution.
We do have Paula ready, so hope it's Ye, but maybe it's somebody else. He's ready with the team anyway.
Where's Jacob going? I'm not sure, because we do want to have a small word with Ye when he's free, but Shazam, firstly to you. Chad on the desk wanted to know that, was it a surprise for you guys that Fnatic let Inferno through, and do you think going forwards it should be a respect ban against your team?
We knew it'd come down to either 3 maps, Inferno, Mirage, or Cash. Honestly, we expected either Mirage or Cash, considering, you know, we've been doing really well in Inferno. I don't know if it was like an ego thing, but hopefully teams start respecting us on that map.
Awesome, and overall then going up against Fnatic, what were your thoughts? You guys have been kind of dark horses throughout every stage of this tournament, and you keep proving yourselves.
Yeah, so our preparations for Fnatic wasn't a whole lot of anti-stratting, because they're a very loose team. You know, they don't run a lot of like direct strats. So it was mostly on cleaning up our gameplay and focusing on our teamwork in a sense that we don't get caught off guard by any plays they make. We did practice against them in boot camp, and it kind of went their way in practice, but luckily we're doing well right now.
And at this point in the tournament, where would you guys rate yourselves in terms of the rest of the competition?
I mean, I feel like we're in a position that we deserve to be in, but it's tough to say because, you know, right now we've only played like best of ones on Inferno. So we just got to keep our heads up and look forward.
There we go. Thank you very much. Now, Yay, a little birdie told me that in the last portion of the tournament, you were the highest rated player throughout all the teams. Firstly, were you aware of that? And secondly, what does it mean to you?
Well, I honestly had no idea I was, but I mean, that's awesome to hear. You know, I'm glad that all the hard work I've been putting in over the years is, you know, finally paying off, you know. It's been an emotional ride, you know, like my family was never supportive of CS, you know, it's, yeah, it's just an emotional period, you know.
That's awesome because you're a guy that's still establishing their name, and to have the results that you're having here, I mean, you do have more to give, but having done what you've done so far, that must be extra special to you considering the situation with your family and your reputation in general.
Oh no, yeah, it's true. I'm glad I can, like, you know, prove them wrong because, like, you know, I just got backlash even from my own, like, people from school. My friends are like, you know, you'll never do this. Like, what are you talking about? That's so dumb. What is esports? You know, like. So it's finally glad to be able to, you know, play here and, you know, do something great.
Well, I'm sure now they certainly know. Yay, would you like to say anything else to everybody watching at home?
Well, like I said, thank you all for supporting us. It means the world to us, and I promise you we'll keep this up. We'll keep grinding hard, and hopefully you have a new favorite NA team. So, yeah.
There we go. Congratulations, Yay, and lovely speech from you. Alex, over to you at the desk.
Wow, it was a long time ago that a certain North American said, "What up now, Swedes?" Indeed, their coach Rambo, all too familiar with that. Mr. Shaguar said it first, but right now Complexity's surely feeling it.
It's been a long time since Complexity has beaten a big name team, right? Especially in CSGO, right? Back to when Sean was still playing on that squad that they were, you know, last dominant. It's been some time since that legendary name has done really anything. And here, once again on Inferno, they've shown that they're a team that can stand up and deliver. They played fantastically. They played off each other very well in the mid rounds. They were being very aggressive and finding picks, and Fnatic just looked flat.
Yeah, I think there's two different sides to this conversation, Sean, and it's up to you which way you want to go with it. Complexity do look fantastic. Everything they do seems to work. Of course, a couple of caveats there. On Fnatic, that flair, that swagger we talked about in the pre-match.
Yeah, Fnatic was completely outclassed this match from pretty much the second round on. They had, I think, 7 opening picks in that first half, which shows how aggressive Complexity was, and then immediately Complexity would take advantage after that pick happened. So hats off to them for rotating around the map and, you know, bringing the fight to Fnatic instead of allowing them to execute, playing passively, which a lot of underdog teams will typically do.
Fragging in-game leaders, a recurring theme here in London. Stan at the top of the scoreboard at over 120 ADI. I mean, of course, the ADR is going to be inflated when you're winning 16-4, but still a spectacular performance from Complexity.
Yeah, it's just against the opponent to do it against, right?
Yeah.
That's the real standout thing here. So coming into this, I didn't have Fnatic making it to the next stage. For me, they haven't proven anything as worth, but I thought that the caliber of those players would be enough to deal with Complexity, but Complexity once again have proven that thought process wrong, and they've proven that at least on Inferno that they're able to contend. Now, I definitely agree with Shazam in the sense of people must start banning that as just respect now. Like, they've proven that they've done it 4 times now, and they've been very proficient on it, and they've looked good. They've shown different faces, different individuals have stepped up every time they've needed a victory, so it's changed.
Perspective, Space Soldiers with their coach who doesn't play Counter-Strike standing in managed to get considerably more rounds than Fnatic did. Yeah. And that was in the Challenger stage. We find ourselves in the Legend stage. I think alarm bells must be ringing for Fnatic fans now. I mean, what looked off, Sean? I mean, from your expert perspective, what weren't you seeing that you normally see?
Well, we didn't even see Fnatic. Like Chad said in the beginning of the game, the jerseys, we couldn't see them in the chairs. We couldn't see them in the server either. So, no, their movement around the map was really poor. Even going back to that second round that they lost, there was no one playing back. I mean, I think Shazam ran out Library through the smoke, got a USP kill. Stanislaus did it as well with the CZ, got 2 more kills. And that's just really poor spacing from a team of Fnatic's caliber. Like, that is unacceptable, actually, that they didn't have a guy far back inside, you know, the jungle area holding that. And it was just the same stuff like that every round. Very poor spacing. Timings were off. They lacked banana control a lot. Flusha had a super poor game on Inferno, which he's been having, actually, lately. 4
frags. 4 frags from Flusha. It's just so uncharacteristic.
Yes, it is.
No, sorry.
I
was trying to lead into that, and then I reminded myself, head-to-heads first.
I was ready. I was
yes,
excited.
it is uncharacteristic.
You know me.
We'll come back to that. Hold that thought, and instead, let's bring up the head-to-heads. It's brought to you by The Predator, which is in cinemas September 14th. Crims and Yay. Interesting combination. Now, Crims, of course, was pulling his weight. He was actually doing everything he could for Fnatic as he found himself with an approximate
13 kills.
13 kills.
Yes, but look, I don't think that the frags even really matter in a game like this. It's just the fact that Complexity as a unit played as a unit, right? We had individuals step up. Shazam was finding a lot of opening kills. He had 10 opening duels. He won 7 of those. So that's a lot of impact, especially when an AWPer can spearhead your attack or your defense if you wanted to use it aggressively on the CT side. So they got a lot done with very little.
And back to the point that you were so excited, the
Yes.
smile on his face. Now, you,
I was like,
you
it was a
used the
natural
word uncharacteristic in your demo. Talk to me.
And there's a lot of occasions here where a team who have 2 players who have won 3 majors, a player that's won 2 majors, another player that has won a major, and then Draken, who has never played in any of the major cycles in any form before. Still, with 4 guys with a lot of experience, you would expect them to play, a little bit smarter, a little bit calmer. Now, this is around here where they are going to go up the lane side or quad side, and 2 players will push banana. Now, they're going to see these 2 players, and they're going to panic. They're going to step wide into Android's AWP, who's up in Palace. They've panicked here. They didn't need to do that. They could have gone through Boiler. They could have just postured and waited and taken those duels as a team. As soon as they've done that, they've made a very awkward situation. The bomb's dropped. JW goes to get it on his own. No trade potential, no communication, nothing that a team of this caliber you'd expect. They lose that round. Look at this lazy clear on Sandbags. I know it's late in the round, but
Was that it?
that was it.
That was it.
That was the clear.
That was it?
Just a little gesture, not actually clearing the position. Def's going to get 2 kills, and another round disappears out of Fnatic hands because they're not playing the Counter-Strike, which they know they should.
Yeah, it's weird because both of those rounds actually were in their hands, actually. Especially the round where JW was crept up Sandbag on lane, and he had all of the information. He knew Android was up on the balcony based on where he was, and still the Fnatic player on Boiler area swings wide lane like Chaz does and gives him free kill.
Wow. Okay, well, that's a bitter pill to swallow for all Fnatic fans. Of course, that's just the start of their journey here at the Major. They'll have plenty more tomorrow, and they'll be jumping into another best-of-1 in this Swiss with a twist format. Up next, though, you have MIBR versus Tyloo. Lots of intriguing conversation to be had here. You have Made in Brazil, a hard-hitting roster who are no strangers to the upper bracket and, of course, to trophies. But now Tyloo stand in their way, who surprised and impressed during the challenge stage. Before we talk all about that, though, I'll be picking the brains of our analysts. We're going to be taking a break, and before that, Epic's GG, one of our sponsors, a reminder to check it out on iOS, Google Play, and on their website if you fancy. You can collect and trade your favorite CSGO stars. Worth checking out if you fancy. Right, we're taking a break. We'll be talking about Tyloo MIBR after the break.
No!